Welcome to Lewd Mood. I'm Becky.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're your hosts, two 40-something-year-old college roommates ready to take you on a wild ride through the bizarre, scandalous, and downright lewd news of the world and our own lives.
This is going to be good, folks. We promise you'll have a blast. So, without further ado, let's do this. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Lewd Mood. I am Kelly.
And I'm Becky, and we're back.
We're back, baby. We're back.
Look at us recording twice in the same week, like adults.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of us.
We've been a bit of a mess this summer, but
listen,
we're here and we're trying to crank out content for you.
Hot messes, at least we're hot.
That's right. The mess just comes naturally.
Oh my God, Becky, what's been going on in your life? Tell me all the things.
Well, not a lot, but I did watch the presidential debate last night.
Oh, God bless. Me too. That was awful, huh?
Listen, how do we get those two old raisins to be our best, the best and the brightest of America? Boy, if I was not an American, I am an American, and I even feel this way. But if I was like someone in another part of the world, I would be like, what the fuck's going on over there? Like, greatest country in America? No.
There were some tweets that were going out and somebody was like, hey, if you're from another country, could you just not watch this? Because we want to keep our embarrassments to ourselves.
Our family embarrassment to ourselves. It was embarrassing on both accounts. Let's be honest. It was, I was not impressed. I was like yelling at the TV.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I mean, the one comment, and I'll just say this about both sides, regardless of, so that way I'm being fair, right? Whoever did Joe Biden's makeup, I so badly just wanted to pinch the cheeks a bit. Yeah. I'm like, could we put a little rouge on the cheeks? He looked like he was fresh out the coffin, like
he
dead.
Really did.
He looked terrible.
He looked terrible. He sounded terrible. I'm like, okay.
He did.
So we got this one guy. He is fresh out the coffin. The crypt keeper. He's like, he's like, I don't know what's going on, with crazy eyes. And then the other guy is like yelling about his golf score. I could hit it very far. I hit it very far. It's like, nobody fucking cares. I don't fucking care.
Nobody cares. It was embarrassing. The best comment of the night that I never thought I would have to hear during a presidential debate was, I didn't have sex with a porn star. And I'm like, the things you thought a presidential candidate would not say, I'm like, there is nothing sacred anymore. Just nothing. We're fucked.
We are so fucked. And I know there's people that ride or die for both of these dum-dums.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, listen, if we're riding or dying, I'm not riding.
Yeah. And both those guys are pretty close to dying.
Oh my God. So I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. This is our world. We have two 800-year-olds. Like nobody else. The California raisins weren't available. At least they got sunshine.
So yeah. Well, Trump's sunshine is artificial because his skin is orange, and Joe Biden hasn't seen the sun in 50 years. I'm like, so I don't know.
Did we just say someone's an alley cat? We're yelling about golf scores. There's like all this important shit that's going on, and we're talking about golf.
Yeah, I think that might have been after. I can't recall if that was the answer to the question about climate change or about the nuclear weapons. I can't recall. That was the answer we got, and we're just doomed. Yeah. We're doomed. Yeah. So
if you want to know what
not
team
impressed.
I'm on team not dum dum, and there are two dum dums.
Yeah, two dum dums. Yeah,
I'm like, this is what happens.
Slim pickings.
This is what happens: is you have two 800-year-olds that are running that are so far removed from the generational hierarchy that they have no understanding. That they probably think milk is still like 2 cents. I don't understand why you can't just walk down to your neighbor and grab chicken eggs. And it's like, sir, if they're not selling it, it's stealing. Okay.
I know. They're just out of touch with reality. I'm not going to lie. Pretty depressing.
It was a sad state of affairs. And they actually talked about affairs, so that's something else too.
They sure did. Yeah. Once again, just prime candidates we got going on here.
I hate both of you. Just in case case we're keeping score. I hate you both.
Listen, is there anything more American than talking about porn and having an affair on national television?
The
It
NBA
seems
draft.
pretty on brand. Oh, did you watch it?
I did watch it.
Tell me.
Can I tell you that, I was like looking for something else to do with my life because I knew we would have the California Raisins debating.
Yeah.
And that was going to stress me out. And I was like, what else is there on TV? And there was really nothing. But then I saw the NBA draft was on there. And I was like, I don't know any of these men that are getting drafted. I know like 2 or 3 of them. But I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So as I was watching the show, a very interesting plot line pulled up that I did not know. So surprisingly, in the NBA draft, I learned about this guy from Duke named Kyle Filipowski.
So I sort of heard about this. Yes. Tell me.
So Kyle was supposed to be like a high or mid-round, first-round draft pick. He's like a 7-foot guy that has good ball handling skills, can shoot really well. Obviously went to Duke, so he's a good player.
Yeah, yeah.
But he dropped all the way into the 2nd round. And people were like, why did this great player drop so far? So it turns out that he had some red flags.
Oh no.
Okay. And so the normal red flags for, a basketball player would be like he hits people or has some like checkered past. No.
Yeah.
This guy's red flags came from his fiance.
Oh no. What did she do?
So his fiance is 26 years old. He is 20. Okay. Age gap.
Oh.
You're like, she's a little older, but
little weird in your 20s. I will say that 20 to 26 is quite a stretch in your 20s.
But you're like, okay, that's not like predatory.
No.
But then you find out she was his babysitter.
Stop it.
Yes. So his fiance was his babysitter when he was 12.
Oh no.
And they apparently have been dating for 7 years.
Since he was 13?
Yes. And she would be
she was
a predator.
She would have been an adult.
Full adult. Dating a teenager.
Oh, my God. That is disgusting.
Yes. And it gets worse.
Oh, no.
So his fiance, she's a Mormon woman. Apparently there's this thing called Mormon grooming where they find these kids and they get them to be Mormons and then they separate them from their family.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
How the red flags came about was he hasn't spoken to his parents or siblings in years.
All throughout college?
All throughout college, he has not spoken to his family.
And they weren't at the draft, I'm assuming.
They were not at the draft. He has cut them out of his life, and he did it via letter. Not an email, but via snail mail. Yeah.
So does like her family like help him with stuff? Like how in the world did he like... I mean, this is, I want to deep dive in this. Wow.
Yeah, so many teams had red flags about this. And when they asked him about it, he didn't have a good explanation of like, hey, we started dating later,
how do you explain
or
that?
we were in love, or my family's awful, or whatever. None of his explanations were worthy of the teams being like, hey, this guy's a good guy.
Well, how do you explain that? How do you explain a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old in either roles reversed or whatever?
She's a predator. She's a full-on predator.
Yeah, absolutely she is. Was so gross.
That's
so gross. So it's interesting, real quick. It's interesting to me that the NBA would give a fuck about that when there's so many like wife beaters and cheaters and just drunks and people like that, players that have done terrible, terrible things, crimes, all kinds of stuff, and they still play. Or
you know what they say? You can beat her, you can cheat her, but you can't let her be a leader.
Oh, that's right. My bad. All of a sudden they care when it's a female predator, but not when like half of the NBA players are predators.
Yeah.
That's an
But
assumption.
they should care about all the predators, but they just care about the female ones, which is fine. Because she is a
Wow.
pervert. She's a predator.
That's okay. So I need to see a picture of this girl. I need to look her up because
he looks like your standard.
He's not a good looking guy. He's not.
She's decent looking. She's blonde hair, Mormon.
Yeah, a very typical looking Mormon. Yeah.
But I will say all teams passed it from him except for
oh God,
the Utah Jazz.
I mean, of course, I knew you were going to say that.
This seems normal.
He's got to go to the homeland.
How we roll here in Utah.
Well, that's where Joseph Smith. Well, he find the tablets like in Illinois or some shit. I don't even know, but like he definitely established a Mormon church in Utah, so that would make a lot of sense.
I don't know much about the Mormons. I know they don't drink.
I do.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't
no
drink
caffeine.
Right.
They believe. Yes, they have interesting afterlife beliefs that like your family basically gets its own planet, and you get to be reunited with your family in the afterlife, kind of on your own little planet. I don't know if they call it a planet. They call it like, I'm going to call it a planet. So hence the multiple children, large families, because you want to have this wonderful, great, fulfilling, full afterlife. Did you ever get on Mormon Talk on TikTok with all the drama of
those Mormons
women that were, So there was like women, they were like soft swapping. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that is? Yeah. So if you aren't familiar,
tell the team.
Should we tell the team about it? So soft swapping is like, think about people who swing, okay? And they like husband and wife switch with another husband and wife, and they swap and they do some sexual things together, usually in the same room, but not necessarily. Yeah. Well, soft swapping, there was this group of women that were very beautiful, very, thin, long hair, curled, Botox, Lululemon, Stanley cups, very like stereotypical white women. Mm-hmm. Very much all looking the same, all married, of course, because they're good Mormon women. And they were having parties, and apparently some of them were soft swapping with their partners. Mm-hmm. And one of the ladies, her name is Taylor, she ended up like having an affair with one of her friends' husbands. Hard swapping. Yes. A full on hard swap. Yeah. So the party got a little out of hand, and it happened outside the party too. So there was this big, like huge drama. This was a couple of years ago on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And, I still follow that girl because it's like, she's kind of made this weird comeback. She got divorced, and then she met someone else and then had a baby with them, and she went to jail for a little bit. It was like a whole thing. It's been like wild. So get on Mormon Talk. You're missing out. It's exciting and spicy over there.
You know how I feel about TikTok. So Mormon Talk, I'm in.
Get on it. Speaking of hard swapping.
Yeah.
We talked a couple episodes back about the Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
Sure did.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited.
So
we did our research.
Independent research of each other, right? Oh, Kelly's got her sheet. I got my sheet. So for the folks at home that don't know what we're talking about, or if you have not listened to our previous episodes, the Bunny Ranch is located in Nevada, and it is a legal brothel.
Yes, it is.
And it has been in business since the 50s. It has a madam with dozens of working girls who are legal voluntary sex workers. And it's one of like the only legal places in the United States that you can find yourself a sex worker and have an experience. Yeah. So a little more background on that. Lyons County is where it's located in Nevada. It's about an hour or so, I think, away from Las Vegas. So a lot of out-of-towners. And believe it or not, a lot of the ladies that work there do not live in the Vegas area. They actually fly in, work for some period of time, and then they fly home. And so they kind of have this anonymous identity at the brothel because it's very private. And other than your pictures on the internet, I think. And also, this brothel, get this, is one of the largest philanthropic donors in the county.
I love that.
they actually have like donation boxes that their guests donate. And they have donated like thousands and thousands of dollars to animals, parks, food banks, Boys and Girls Club, to the local high school, Toys for Tots. And also they sponsor like people who are near and dear to the brothel that go through hardships, diagnosed with cancer, or have medical bills, things like that. So it's pretty crazy there. So in order to become a sex worker, they are. I mean, listen, there's people that want to do this, right? Like, no shame. If this is your goal in life, this might be the place to work, because they have some pretty stringent rules. No drug use at any kind, as a worker or as a guest. Okay, so you can't have a party and snort some coke out of somebody's butthole. You can't do that. So save that experience for somebody else. The women that work there, every year they have to get a hepatitis test. Every month they get HIV and syphilis tests. And every week they get chlamydia and gonorrhea tests. And it is at the expense of the sex worker. They pay for that. They have never had a case of HIV at the brothel, and which is pretty amazing. However, they do have the testing is done like on the campus, and they have a nurse, and they also have like a connection to the medical center there. So if somebody needs treatment, and if somebody is diagnosed with any type of STD or STI, they actually go to the sheriff's department and report it. And then the trail of guests are contacted so that everybody is getting taken care of and nobody spreads it around. So you couldn't ask for a safer environment.
No, you sure couldn't.
There's no raw dogging of any kind. No bodily fluids of any kind touch any part of anybody's body. So they have barriers for literally everything, which sounds weird, but also, I guess, the only way to do it. And all guests of the brothel have to take a shower before they are with their partner. And they do one-on-ones, they do threesomes, they do groups, they do girl on girl, they do married couples, they do anything you could possibly think of is on the agenda.
I love it. I actually looked up the menu.
Oh my God, you did?
I sure did. So there's a lot of things on the menu, and they listed as appetizer, main course. And I think there was even some combo menus. Options. But you can like menus. You can look up what service you want, and then they'll say these are the people that are on staff during these days. So you can see, and you can pick like, hey, I want Becky.
Yeah, who wouldn't? But isn't that part of it too, that the women working there, they can choose what they want to do or not want to do. So like if you're like, I don't want to do anal or blowjobs, then you are just not on the menu for that.
That's right. And
it's pretty cool.
I think that's great. If you're not comfortable with something, or if you really are comfortable with something, it's great.
Yeah.
If you're like, hey, listen, I need a little extra cash this week. Can you put me on the anal department?
Put me on the anal list.
Put me on the anal list this week.
Can you imagine?
So here's a couple of things.
So many jokes.
Here's a couple of things that are on the menu. So you can get a regular BJ. They do the Bunny Ranch Champagne BJ.
What's that?
So I believe, if I was reading it correctly, you get served champagne while you get a BJ.
Oh, while you receive. Okay. Nice.
Yep. And then you can bring a third or more. You can make a private sex tape.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They have happy ending massages.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Spanking. And then pegging.
Oh.
Do you know what pegging is?
I do, because I have a story, not about me, but about a worker.
I had to look up pegging because,
What?
I was like, wait a second. Is this what I think it is? Let me be sure.
It is.
And it was what I thought it was.
And tell the listeners at home what it is.
So pegging, and it was described because you can click on the pegging on the link and it gives you a description. Wow. So basically the woman will put on a dildo and penetrate the man anally. Doggy style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. So I've talked about this gal on TikTok, the modern working girl. Her name
Yeah.
is Dase, who
Mhm.
is a active sex worker at the
Yes.
Bunny Ranch. And she told a story about a guy that came in and he wanted to be pegged by 5 women.
Wow.
5. So it gets worse. And if this grosses you out, maybe to skip forward about 10 seconds. Okay. So they needed a 5th girl. And she's like, well, I'll do it. But I did not bring my strap on dildo. And one of the girls was like, I have an extra, but it's BBC, a big black cock. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a big one. Okay.
BBC.
And BBC. Yeah. So she's like, okay. So she's like, well, I'll go last because then he'll be warmed up. Okay. I know. So the other 4 girls go and it's Dase's turn and she goes for it and she does not put any lubricant on the BBC and this guy had to tap out. And she, for some reason, was like, I just thought he'd be warmed up. Like, I was like, if I have to have that memory, that story burned into my brain, the rest of you have to have it too.
He didn't know he was getting a dolphin at the end.
This is what I think it is. That's what I think it is.
They go in the back door and you turn around and you go, ah, ah, ah. Full on.
Oh my God. That's what it's called. Well, I mean, I feel like that noise might just happen naturally.
It was full on. He got dolphined. He didn't even know it.
Okay.
BBC.
Didn't even know it. Well, okay.
I didn't see tickling on the menu.
Oh, I bet it is though.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
So Tickle Me
that's not
Michael
even
would
like
be very disappointed about his trip there if there was no tickle monster.
So when you're a guest, I'm sure you have more for the menu, but when you're a guest at the Bunny Ranch, you actually pick your girl up, pick your girl out. They have like a bar area. You pick your girl out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a negotiation room that they go to. And at that time, you have the menu up and you negotiate all the things you want for the price point that you want. And then the working girls do a 50-50 split with the ranch. So they get 50% of whatever they negotiate and the other 50% goes to the ranch. And so they can negotiate tickling or pegging or BBCs or none of that, whatever you like. So, and then they can decide if they want to pay for it. And sometimes like they can't come to an agreement and then the negotiation's over and that's it. Yeah. But the most interesting part is once they agree to what they're doing and they've all agreed and the money, I assume, has changed hands and they're done, then the working girl actually does a full inspection of the person or persons that she is going to be working with, and including a full wipe down with an alcohol wipe. Oh. You want to know why they use an alcohol wipe?
Why?
If you have any open sores, it's going to burn.
Oh.
And they want to know.
Yeah.
Because you can't always see stuff, right? So like there's probably sometimes a mess to make your way through. So I know. I would you'd hope for landscaping.
Messy.
Some people don't do that.
So, you gotta get through all that fur.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And then they go to the room and he hops in the shower and it starts.
Bingo bango.
Bingo bango boom.
Peg.
Was there other stuff? Was there prices on there or like any general idea of what it costs?
It didn't give me any prices. It just gave him interest. So I was a little disappointed. I was hoping to find some prices of like, hey, this is $150, this is $200, this is $1,000, this is $1,500, whatever.
I got my Yelp reviews pulled up here.
Yes.
So lots of good Yelp reviews. Also, rather ballsy to put your public Yelp profile on the Bunny Ranch Yelp page. I mean, you must have really had a great experience or not. So let's start with the bad experiences. Yep. Okay. The doorman was and bartender were fairly nice. Experience was awful. And Nico, the worker, is a ripoff artist and a cheat.
Ooh, Nico.
That was by Joe B, who did not have a good experience. 2 stars out of 5.
Joe B wanted a BJ from Nico.
There's actually a review on here from a woman.
Oh.
She came with a bunch of friends from out of town. There is a bar at the Bunny Ranch that you can go to. You do not have to hire a girl or a worker in order to go to the bar. So some people just go to hang out and check, I guess, to like watch and check it out, I suppose. So a group of people went there, and when the staff realized that they weren't there for a girl and they were just there to like hang out and maybe take a tour, they weren't treated very nicely, and they were very pushy to buy merchandise. Blah, blah, blah. They had a terrible experience at the Bunny Ranch.
Well,
just terrible.
They're there to work, okay? They're not there for you to ogle, Karen.
No shit. No shit. There's another 2-star review. This one's from John H. He came to see Abigail after they had a phone call to see if she was personable or anything like that. So upon meeting, Abigail was a high-strung mess. She went from a 5-star to a below 1. I've paid for perfect 10s in Amsterdam and elsewhere. And for whatever reason, she was not accommodating me. And after taking a small fortune, she basically said, "Sorry, chump, better luck next time."
Well,
I highly recommend you carefully talk to the girls and tell them what you want and make sure they're willing to deliver, or you're going to walk out feeling like you just dropped a fortune on a lemon that broke down 2 days after you drove it home. And the only reason why I'm giving the place 2 stars is because the driver picked me up and took me back was really nice. He was 25, a good listener, and a really nice guy.
What do you think? What kind of service do you think he was getting? Pegging. The BBC wasn't BBCing enough.
Yeah. Another bad review because they only brought $600 US with them, but the prices were $1,500 for 15 minutes, and that's stupid. Wow. So it's the last time they'll ever go to the Bunny Ranch. I can go to Australia for a lot cheaper, get the same service with gorgeous girls and no drama.
Oh, of course, the drama. No drama.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what do you think you're going to get for $600 in a legal brothel?
Okay.
You're not getting shit.
No.
Yeah. Okay, here's the best one I read, though. This is Steve M. Okay, Steve M. I'd like to give 4 or even 5 stars, but great looking babes, good for eye candy. But if you're looking to get laid, you better bring $1 million. It's just too bad that the girls are pricing themselves out of this market. They have to make it reasonable within an affordable range for the working man or a retiree on a fixed income like me. Because at least they would have a regular customer to, in quotes, keep happy on a regular basis.
Sir.
So Grandpa didn't have enough money from his Social Security check.
Listen,
and
he's
not
take
happy.
AARP here, okay?
There's no seniors discount. There's no early bird special, Grandpa.
No early bird special happy endings.
Oh, they should have happy hour. Half price.
Happy ending hour.
Happy ending hour. Get yourself a happy ending for half price. Yeah.
Those girls aren't work.
It's crazy.
It takes a lot, okay? It is work. Especially if you're doing somebody who's not very attractive. Okay? And then you have to make it feel special. All right? No.
I mean,
they're not discounting.
You're acting the whole time.
They're not discounting their services for you, Charles. Okay? It's not happening.
Also, I'll never understand why anybody thinks they need to pay for it, but it's fine. I mean,
I get it.
I would not pay for it. But.
Well, should we figure out via the Bumblebee who would pay for it?
Oh, we should.
All right.
We should.
We do the Bumblebee. The Bumblebee. Beep 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 Bumblebee.
God, that was like a rap.
Thank you. That was my remix. You can catch us on Spotify. By the way, have you know on the Bumblebee we get 3 eligible suitors. And then today's game is which one is most likely to go to the Bunny Ranch?
Yes.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we got suitor number 1. His name is Tony. He's 47. He is completely free of drama and likes to travel. No drama.
Okay.
No drama for Tony, which means
no drama.
He brings a lot of drama.
He loves drama. Yeah.
Always when they say they like drama free, they've brought drama to the party. Okay. That's just
Correct.
in case you're wondering, any of you that have been married for a long time, what it's like on the Bumble. If they say no drama, I'm looking for no drama, it's because they are psychos who bring drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Their drama follows them around. They don't know why. It's you.
Yes. You created the drama, sir. Okay, suitor number 2, his name is Michael. He's 46. He's funny. He's honest. He's open-minded. He's a grown man looking to connect and do what makes him happy.
Oh.
And what makes him happy, Becky, is you. No, just kidding.
Sure. Yeah.
And then suitor number 3, his name's Tim. He's 41. Okay. And he just recently found happiness comes from within. And he's ready to get lost in life. So, Becky, the question is, which one of these guys is most likely to go to the bunny ranch? Suitor number 1, Tony. Suitor number 2, Michael. Or suitor number 3, Tim?
It's number 2.
You think so?
Michael. I think it is because open-minded. And what was the last part of what he said on his thing? Something.
He's looking to do what makes him happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just feel like being open-minded, he might invite you to go along to the bunny ranch with him because he's been there before. Okay. And he's going to do it because it makes him happy, and you better get on board or get out. I think that's what it's going to be.
Okay. I would go
He's 46. He's not fucking around.
Yeah. I would actually go Tim, number 3. He's 41.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like finding happiness from within, he just found like a new confidence, and he's willing to try out his new skills for pay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But he maybe wants to test it out first at the ranch.
Yes. I think he wants to test out his fantasies that he just realized he had at the bunny ranch.
Yeah, a lot. And he said he wanted to get lost in life. What do you think that means?
He wants to get pegged.
Like yeah, okay.
That's what I think. I think
that you might be lost after that happens too, potentially. I mean, I'm not shame kinking it or anybody, but that seems like it could change your life.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, okay. I still think Michael. I'm going to stick with Michael. Okay. I just feel like, I don't know. He just seems like
all 3 of these gentlemen going to the Bun Ranch.
Yeah, I feel like Tony would go and like get the drama, him saying he likes to travel. He might travel to Las Vegas a couple times a year, and then he maybe travel on over to the Bunny Ranch. Yeah. And
I actually think he might have been drama the one that wrote that review. Tony might have actually written that review about they're too dramatic.
Yeah. It's everyone else's fault that it's expensive. Yeah. Like these women who are
expect to go to a sex worker and have to pay.
Yeah, how dare they charge me premium prices?
Go to a bar at 1:30 a.m. and then you won't have to pay for it, Tony.
Buy $9 drink. Get yourself a blowjob.
Scoop up for somebody $9. Who's just tipping over that way and just wants to get banged and not remember you.
Yeah. He's probably the type of person that does a bunch of dumb shit and then calls his girlfriend crazy.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And then she was fucking dramatic. She got mad at me about the dumbest shit. I didn't come home for 2 days and she was so fucking mad at me.
I can't believe I just like dropped off the map for a whole week and then she was like mad, like she didn't know where I was. How dramatic. It's like,
yeah. He probably like doesn't reply to your text messages for like 2 days. And then he'll be like, sorry, I was busy. Why are you getting what's wrong with you? God, you're so dramatic.
I had a boyfriend like that. he would disappear for like a couple days and then I'd be like, where are you? And he's like, you're so dramatic. And then I was like, am I crazy?
No. The second a man calls you dramatic, they're the ones that are being ridiculous because that is a deflection.
Yes.
Because I realize myself, I have a flair for drama. Yeah. But in my old age of 41, I know how to contain my drama. And I feel like nowadays, if I'm being called dramatic, it's just a deflection of your like own issues because I'm not here for it. Like I'm not dramatic. Like me wanting you to respond to a text message or me wanting you to like whatever, that doesn't make me dramatic. That makes me a real fucking person.
Save the drama for your mama. Trigger warning. Oh man. Well, that's great.
So Tony, you're right. Maybe all 3 of them. All 3.
Yeah. All 3 would definitely
Bunny
go.
Ranch attendees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was good. Let's wrap it up.
I mean, for this episode, we definitely should be wrapping it up.
Everyone should wrap it up. That's the best advice we can ever give you. Well, never be too careful.
Thank you for listening to Lewd Mood. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share with a friend. Share with a coworker. Share with some random stranger. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Becky. Bye. Bye. Lewd Mood Podcast is produced by Kelly Lally and Becky Pospisil.
Music by Paul Size of Red Beat Entertainment.
Listen to our podcast anytime on Spotify Podcasts.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Lewd Mood